It's the highlight of the calendar for Formula 3 teams, drivers and fans, and for the former Portuguese colony of Macau. The Macau Grand Prix has been around for more than 50 years, with past winners, including Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher. The race weekend is organized by Macau's tourism authority.
We have 17 offices representing Macau in the world. We are promoting the big events of Macau and giving support for the travel agencies to organize the package, facilitation the selling of tickets, and promoting the event itself.
But the event needs little promoting among the racing fraternity, like Britain's RR team.
As a race meeting, it's the most prestigious race that we do, so we have to come here as almost as a loss leader, show our abilities, But basic cost for 2 cars, you're looking 60,000 sterling for the entire race weekend, with personnel, hotels, flights, freight charges. So yeah, it's a big expense, but it's well worth doing, I think.
For RR driver Mike Conway, it's the one time in the year he'll get to pit his skills against the best that the rest of the world has to offer.
It's a really big race, really test of a driver here, because you've got such a roller coaster ride through the mountain section. It's an awesome street track. No other circuit you'll find basically like this.
And the young drivers are all keenly aware that several past champs have stepped from victory here straight into Formula One.
I mean, you try not to think too much about what's happened, what could happen in the future.
For fans, that chance to watch possible stars of the future is a big pull. And these days, people are coming from further afield to take in the packed weekend of racing events. There are now direct air links between Macau and several Asian capitals. And since Portugal handed the territory over to China in 1999, Beijing has made it a lot easier for mainlanders to visit Macau. Since 2000, the number of visitors to the tiny enclave of just 500,000 has tripled to 21 million people a year.
Right now, about half the tourists that come to Macau are day trippers from Hong Kong and the mainland. Macau is working hard, though, to convince people to stay longer and to show the world it has a lot more to offer than the race weekend and a chance to try your luck at the casinos.
We try really to use this event as a leitmotif to talk about Macau, talk about motorsport, talk about the capacity of organizing big events, and talk about the destination.
Over the past couple of years, a host of big, new, foreign-owned casino resorts have sprung up here, helping create an unprecedented economic boom. But away from the din of new construction lies another Macau. It's a place rich in European and Eastern culture, of temples and quiet squares, and well-preserved colonial architecture. And it's a hit with race fans.
There's some pretty amazing architecture in the new buildings, but I particularly like the way they've maintained the older style of building and they've restored them.
It's got some of the most amazing little sections that you don't normally find in Hong Kong or other parts of Asia. And the people are always so nice, always so friendly. It's a real hidden surprise. It's a diamond, actually, Macau.
It wasn't proving such a glittering weekend for the RR team and Mike Conway. Conway did post the fastest lap in Saturday's qualifying, but only secured 7th place on the grid for Sunday's race. Not that it fazed him.
Macau's one of them places where anything can happen. You could start on pole, but get to the first corner, which is like nearly 2 kilometers away, and you could be sitting in 4th position. So it's, it's a really difficult track to get right. You really need to try and get a break.
Pretty prophetic, given the events in this year's race. A fantastic start saw Conway move from 7th to 4th. Then at the first corner, the leading 3 drivers crashed out, with Conway zipping safely through the mess into 1st place. He scared his team by scraping a wall on lap 6, but held his nerve and held on to win the 2006 Macau Grand Prix.
All the financial issues go out the window, It's just the joy of beating everybody, Number one team. That's what it's about, And eventually we'll get the payoff.
For Conway, the payoff is more immediate. Instant celebrity, and a big boost to the chances that he, like Senna and Schumacher, who stood atop this podium before him, will one day make the leap to racing's biggest stage.